So, final thoughts on tonight's game was probably just as I said at half time, and like I said to my lad before the game, I thought if they scored first, we wouldn't come back. I couldn't see us scoring 2 goals. After they scored the first goal, Forest that is, I didn't think we had a goal in us. As it turned out, great interception from Garnacho, great vision to square it to Rashford, a fantastic pass. And you wouldn't think Rashford is so short on confidence. A really, really measured finish. Fantastic. But then, after almost getting a second, we let him go down the other end of the pitch and score straight away, and defence non-existent. Just ridiculous. But you look at United, and as I said in the half-time report I said to my lad before the game when he said he really fancied us today, I said, I can't say that. And he said, no, if we do like we would against Villa, second half. I said, yeah, but we won't. We don't do that. Any footballers with any sense would think, wait a minute, that's the winning formula. Work hard, run hard, close down, hunt in packs, get the ball, put your head up, look for a free man and put it in front of him for him to run onto. It's a winning formula. City, Liverpool have been doing it for years. We used to do it. Not hard. But we can't do it. We don't do it. Rashford scores a great goal. Nearly intercepted one just before that. But again, 350 grand a week. I look at him and I think, well, he's not working. I've earned some good money in my lifetime, my working life. But the more I've earned, the harder I've worked. I've wanted to earn more again. And also, the more I've earned, the harder I've worked. So I want to give back to the employees that are paying me good money. Rashford's on 350 grand a week. He should be killing himself out on that pitch. He's doing nothing. Don't get me wrong. I feel sorry for the guy. I think they worked out he had one touch in the opposing box. And he scored from it. That was because he was getting no service in the first half. No ball whatsoever and was dropping back. But that's what Højlund's had all year. They say, why have we got so few goals and so few shots on target? It's because we're not getting the ball in the box. We're not looking for anybody. Garnacho regularly loses the ball but scores some great goals. Anthony just thinks the ball's his own. He doesn't look to pass. He never looks to pass. He just gets down that wing and looks to win throw-ins. And as I say, first half today, very successfully won 3 or 4. But we don't want throw-ins. We want goals. 80 and 90 million pound for that fella. And we sell the guy to Forest, what is it, 15 million? So that means we think the guy at Forest, Anthony's 5 or 6 times better than Alanga. Alanga wasn't a United player. He wasn't good enough for the first team. But he's not far off Anthony. He might even be better. We paid 80, 90 million for one and got rid of one for 15. Crazy. You couldn't write it. You couldn't make it up. Just really, really poor. I mean, what I will say is, my lad said he heard that old Kobe there had been taken off because he had a slight knock. I never heard that. But if that wasn't the case, I would have been taking off Ericsson for McTominay today and kept Kobe in there along with McTominay to help the defence and let Bruno roam around as he wanted to. I wouldn't have took Kobe off. I thought he was pretty bright in the first half, the only one that probably was. And second half, I think there's only one person that come away with any kind of pat on the backs, and that'd be young Diallo. He looked really good. Didn't have a lot of the ball, but everything did. 1 or 2 touches and moving the ball forward. His passing was crisp. He was running direct, unlike Anthony, and he was playing with his head up. I think he ended up with 1 or 2 shots on target. He was unlucky, he didn't really connect, but he was a threat. I think one time he got pulled down when he would have been away. The guy got booked for it, he'd only just come on. We were away then if he didn't pull him down. And he looked a threat. I've been wanting him back for weeks. I know he's come from a lower division at Sunderland, but what he was doing at Sunderland was creating goals and scoring goals. What does Anthony do? Doesn't create, doesn't score. So let's have him in over Anthony. We'll get more off him. But just very, very poor. But I think I think you've got to look at Ten Hag and think, well, you're reading today in the papers that he's got the backing of Sir Jim and the backing of Ineos, and you look at it and you think to yourself, well, all United had to do today was recreate what they did in the second half against Villa. But I didn't think they were going to do that because I've seen them that many times this year. They just flatter to deceive. They do something right, and then in the very next game go back in the shell and do what they want to do, which is absolutely bugger all and not work. They look lazy as a bunch of players. They all look lazy from 1 to 11. And for me today, what needs to happen was Ten Hag needed to shake them up and get them playing like they did in the second half against Villa. But say to them, if you're not going to do that, Whichever of you don't work, you drop for the next game. Whoever it might be against, you dropped. And we're going to bring the kids in if need be. That's what's needed. Now, today, they're either not playing for Ten Hag, or he doesn't know how to make them play for him. Either way, he's failing. If they're not playing for him, he's failed. If he can't make them play for him, he's failed. So a change has got to come, because this is horrendous. This really is horrendous, and I don't want to lose another manager. I like Ten Hag, but there's something drastically missing there. They are not playing for him, and he doesn't seem capable of making them play for him. As I've said in the past, I've heard that he doesn't shout at anybody. He doesn't lose his temper, because he thinks if he shouts at the players, he loses the player. Well, I'm sorry, but sometimes you've got to shout. Sometimes you've got to make your feelings clear. He just looks so passive on that touchline. I'd be absolutely doing my nut. Absolutely doing my nut in a wood on that touchline with that they're serving up at the moment. Just isn't good enough. I feel so sorry for the fans that have made that journey to Nottingham tonight to watch that. Awful. Really, really poor. So, 2-1 down, and I would suggest we got what we deserved. It's not what I want. For all I seem to knock them all the time at the moment, I don't want to be knocking my team, I want to be praising them. But you can't praise when there's nothing there to praise. You just can't do it. I thought Kobe was alright in the first half. I thought Diallo played well in the second. Garnacho did a few things pretty good. And Rashford's finish was cool and clinical. Other than that, I can't take anything away from that tonight. Nothing at all. Very, very, very poor.